Hi everyone, I'm Anisha. To know more about my work, you may visit my website www.tarotbyanisha.com. For those of you who are seeking deeper clarity, be it in your love life or your career, for a personal consultation, you may write to me at tarotbyanisha@gmail.com. I'm going to be sharing 4 tips to manage our relationship during pandemic. And I do hope that these simple tips can help you maintain or even mend your current relationships. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, all types of relationships have suffered. And it's because of the heightened tension that all of us are operating under. And it makes perfect sense, to have to be in a relationship in which that you're struggling. The fact is that we are literally, there is no space, we are in each other's space. And if we have not mastered the art of even in a physical lesser space to create our own space for ourselves, then it could be a bit of a challenging situation. The friction could be there more. So I do hope that these simple tips will help you. Help you. I do also want to say that there is no need to feel guilty because you're having a tough time in your relationship. It's absolutely understood in the current scenario that we can't any longer sort of go to work or just have that cup of coffee or with our friends or just have a chat or even just step out and go across to our friend's place and just meet them and just vent it out and come back with a changed energy. Now, unfortunately, it's that one person who's there at home who we are at times, not all the times, expecting to be our friend, our girlfriend, our colleague, our partner, and also in certain ways, I would say, the problem solver for everything that we could be going through. The first is respecting the invisible boundary. So even though your partner may not look really busy, and the way I see it is that it's like a whiteboard that my partner is with, and he's maybe he's watching his own movie on his screen, and I walk in right in, and I start sort of running my own movie over there. And earlier, while whether we were at workplace in our rooms, you would have people come over and check with you that, hey, listen, if you're not busy, can I run this past you, and so on and so forth. And it's always irritating when we are working or when we're doing something, when we have someone just come and be intrusive and start prattling about what it is that they want. Yes, there are some of those. So it's always a great idea to have an invisible boundary at home and to be asking your partner that, hey, let me know when you have 5, let me know when you have 10 minutes, and I would like to run something past you, or I want to know something about you. When is it? It's a good time. And you are not just creating a boundary for your partner, you're also creating a boundary for yourself. What you're sending the message out is that next time when you want something and I may not be looking busy, please do not assume that I am free. And this is it's a very healthy way of operating. It has nothing to do with the ego. It's acknowledging that you respect your partner's time, your partner's attention, and he or she in turn will also understand that you're trying to establish a workable boundary for both of you. And this gets especially hard when you're around each other the entire day, and you're not sort of intruding on each other's time, in each other's thoughts, and it becomes almost quite natural to keep interrupting each other when you're working. But the moment you establish an invisible boundary, it allows both of you to be able to not just work more productively, but also appreciate each other when you have that time, or the 10 minutes or that 5 minutes, when you take off. Extremely important to be carving in alone time for yourself. So be creative. Try and figure out whether you want to do a date night. You want to plan a date night. It could be Friday date nights, and it doesn't have to be who it is that's planning. Don't keep waiting. And I hear this a lot through my counseling sessions. Where I'll have a couple and they'll say, we've been married or we've been together for such a long time and he still can't read my mind. I don't know why is it that he's not doing this, or he'll say, I do not know. She knows that, I don't like this. I don't know why she will carry on doing this, or why didn't she say so if she wanted something. It's extremely important that if you want something, if you say you want to spend some time with your partner and he's or she is not terribly creative, there's nothing that's stopping you from taking that onus and bringing about the creativity. Maybe you can just set a nice tray. You can, take out your wine, your beer, put some popcorns, maybe watch a show together, maybe play some board games. Do anything together. Make that little thing special and ensure that on, whether it is whichever night that you pick, so Friday or a Saturday night, that time is just for both of you to sit over there and spend time together. The second tip is that have a routine, but do not get too obsessive. Now, while homeschooling has hit all of us really hard, you have children at home who need to be monitored, and especially is true if you're running a business from home. If you are even in a 9 to 5 job, you will find that sticking to the complete schedule gets to be a problem. And if you are running your own business, ensure that you have pre-negotiated with your client and you've told them that, listen, I am going to be taking maybe 3-4 days extra to be delivering what it is, so that you release yourself of that stress that you may carry because of the deadline that is there. Is extremely important. And as boring and as tedious it may sound, it isn't really. You just calculate a couple of more hours in the day. So say for example, you have you need to be knowing what is it that you plan to be doing next month. If there are orders that you need to be delivering, you need to be calculating the time and buffering in some more hours. So build in that flexibility and don't get obsessive about it. The third point is dealing with loneliness. While this may seem like a time where a lot of people will tell you that go get out, reach out to more new people, reach out to make new friends, but this is really a time to be fostering and nurturing your existing relationships. It's a perfect excuse to be reconnecting with your friends with whom you've really lost in touch with. And guys, it's not a thing of saying that, oh, nobody got in touch with me and oh, I'm so alone. And it's very easy to be playing the victim song in our heads that nobody asked me, nobody knows, wants to know how I'm doing. Be the person who is reaching out, who is connecting with people, and be the love that you never got. Try and reach out as much as possible. And even simple things like whether it is holding storytelling classes free online, and you can reach out to the community where you live in, you can reach out to your extended family, you can reach out to a school or an NGO near you and just say, listen, I'm going to be conducting these storytelling classes for children, and you would know where the time really goes. Very importantly, especially if you're living alone, is to have a specific schedule for yourself. Have that discipline. It could be as simple as watering your plants in the morning. It could be just taking care of the house, irrespective of that someone is coming home and doing all of that work for you. If you're really bored, then I would recommend go ahead and color coordinate your cupboard. It's extremely therapeutic. The fourth and the most important point is to take care of yourself. So, with the daily hustle and bustle that is there, we tend to bypass the necessary but sometimes lengthy process of working through our feelings. So there are a lot of people, who find it really hard to sit peacefully with themselves. There will be a lot of these um thoughts that will overcome. But now with the pandemic situation, it has forced a lot of us to, be by ourselves, to, not have that option of getting distracted. We're not rushing off to meet people. We're not rushing off to shop. We are pretty much at home, and this can be a time where a lot of stuff can come out. It can surface for you. So rather than get overwhelmed, try journaling. Spend at least 5 to 10 minutes every day writing. Some time out to meditate. It's extremely important. Again, even if it is for 10 minutes, it's the best thing that you can do for your mental health. Try and just sit at a calm place at home and just try and focus on your breathing. It's as simple as that. There are a lot of apps that are there. I think Mindspace is one of them, which is, I use that a lot, and it's really nice. So you can go through the guided meditation, use that every day for yourself. Move your body. It's very important that not to stay stagnant or you may say that, oh, I go and I walk till the kitchen and I spend hours standing and cooking. That is not what moving your body is. But try and get some exercise. If it's not possible for you to leave home, maybe just join some online yoga class. Just try and do some gentle breathing, gentle stretches. And I mean, if you can step out there's a park near your house, and that is really, really great. And the most important thing, guys, is to be practicing appreciation and gratitude. And these are challenging times, so, and none of us are going to be perfect partners. So do your best to, even if it is something, even if your partner makes you a cup of tea, remember to be appreciative, rather than just a nod and saying, so what's the big deal if he or she is doing that. Be genuinely, make eye contact, appreciate, thank your partner for, the effort that they're putting in. It would be lovely if you can just make eye contact with your partner and just say, I really appreciate the effort that you're making. I really feel so valued that for you to be getting me this cup of tea. And every day, if you can try and share one or two things that you're grateful about that your partner does, I think that in itself will be enough. It's been a pleasure speaking with all of you. Take care, stay safe, and thank you so much for watching.